Hello folks, and welcome to Jack Reviews Musicals. If this is your first time seeing my face, hola! My name is Jack, and I am a musical theater superfan based in St. Louis, Missouri, and this is my YouTube channel, where I share my thoughts on all of the musical productions I go out to see. In this video, I will be talking about the 6th production of the Muny's 106th season, In the Heights, which played August 9th through the 15th of 2024. This is my second time seeing In the Heights live after seeing Stages St. Louis's award-winning production in 2022. You can read my review of that show on jackreviewsmusicals.com. In the Heights was the first full-scale musical that was created almost entirely by Lin-Manuel Miranda before Hamilton. At the age of 28, he cut his teeth on the Broadway circuit with In the Heights alongside book writer Chiara Allegria Hudes. And boy oh boy, In the Heights was one hell of a debut. It premiered on Broadway to rave reviews, sold out houses, ran for 3 years, and was nominated for 13 Tony Awards, winning 4: Best Musical, Best Score for Lin-Manuel Miranda, Best Orchestrations for Alex Lacamoire and Bill Sherman, and Best Choreography for Andy Blankenbuehler. In the Heights would then be adapted into a feature film in 2021, starring Anthony Ramos in the role that Lin-Manuel Miranda originated on Broadway, Usnavi de la Vega. Usnavi is the protagonist of In the Heights, introducing us to the barrio, the Spanish-speaking quarter of Washington Heights in Upper Manhattan. Usnavi himself is Dominican. He is the first-generation American son of 2 Dominican immigrants. The family then started a bodega in the barrio, a business that Usnavi continues to run after his parents passed away. Usnavi's parents died when he was younger, so he was then taken in and raised into adulthood by Claudia. She's a kindly old lady that everybody in the barrio exclusively refers to as Abuela. The sole employees of Usnavi's bodega are himself and his teenage cousin, Sonny. And Usnavi starts the show by pining for one day returning to his homeland of the Dominican Republic, a dream that is compounded by Abuela Claudia's failing health. His job, combined with his relationship with Abuela, allows him to know everyone in the barrio rather intimately. And so Usnavi tells the stories of the people in the Heights and how they all connect back to him. He introduces us first to Kevin and Camila Rosario, the husband and wife team who run a taxicab dispatch. Their daughter, Nina, the pride of the barrio, is returning home for the summer from her first year at Stanford University, making Nina the first in the Rosario family to go to college. Unfortunately, though, Nina comes home to tell everyone that she had to drop out. Nina was forced to work multiple jobs in order to keep up with the cost of living in California, which caused her grades to suffer and resulted in her losing her full-ride scholarship. Kevin and Camilla are upset by this, of course, because they had to invest so much into Nina's future that now they have to risk their business so that they can stay afloat. The family tension is then complicated by the presence of Benny, a young black man who works as a driver for the taxi dispatch. Benny has fallen in love with Nina, and Nina with him. But Kevin and Camilla see Benny as way out of Nina's league, and never actually being a part of the Rosario family, for reasons that are both classist and racist. We do get to see some comic relief from this, though, in the form of the employees of the local salon, Daniela, Carla, and Vanessa. Vanessa being an object of Usnavi's infatuation. But even then, the 3 of them aren't comic relief for very long, because of the rising rent hikes that are happening in Washington Heights. The salon now has to move to the Bronx. And that move is complicated by the possibility of Vanessa not staying with them. Vanessa plans on moving to Greenwich Village to make a name for herself as this upscale fashion designer. Rounding out the cast are Sunny's best friend, Pete, a street artist that can be found spraying graffiti on the bodega's grate, and also the Piragüero, who serves shaved ice treats to the people of the barrio, all the while trying to compete with a brand new Mr. Softy ice cream truck. And the story is all of these characters trying to survive the hottest week of the year, 4th of July weekend. All of these characters are experiencing economic uncertainty that is made worse by the heat wave, which eventually results in a blackout. This situation is made more dramatically thrilling by the prospect of someone in the barrio winning a $96,000 jackpot on a lottery ticket. There is no hero to save the day, no villain that has to be conquered. It pretty much is life being lived, with the high stakes forces that are outside of the character's control. A very fitting, very relevant narrative for issues that are still being faced by the Latin American community in the United States today. And that is part of what made In the Heights legitimately groundbreaking when it premiered in 2008. In the Heights is a modern, realistic, slice-of-life musical about a community that isn't represented very well in our stories. By and large, that is. Lin-Manuel Miranda and Chiara Alegria Hudes crafted truly unforgettable characters that span 3 different generations. And they take the time, naturalistically of course, to guide the audience with how they live their lives and how they live their culture without feeling cynical or patronizing at all. This is a story about being true to yourself, about staying true to your dreams, about celebrating who you are, where you came from, and the responsibility that comes from being a part of a community, especially one that is marginalized. And we really need some of that right now. I'm just gonna say it up front, Lin-Manuel Miranda is an artist that's been getting a lot of flack lately. And a big reason for that is because he is earnest to the point of being overbearing. There was one time where I saw a video review of his film adaptation of Jonathan Larson's Tick, Tick, Boom, where the reviewer said, whenever Lin-Manuel Miranda says hope, he always says it like, hope. Now, I definitely get what they mean, and you do get a sense of that in both In the Heights and also Lin-Manuel Miranda's later work, especially Hamilton. But, I don't know. I said this in my review of My Heart Says Go at Tesseract Theater, that we need to see stories like In the Heights. We need to see stories that are not ashamed to be sentimental or emotionally genuine. Because there are so many stories in our media landscape these days that are so shamelessly cynical, including stories that take intellectual properties that people would find very silly and then force them to appeal to a wide audience via ironic detachment. It makes for great parody and satire, but not so much for a story that you would want to come back to time and again, to really get a genuine connection out of it. Especially in a time like now, where the pandemic has made millions of people feel so alone and broken. We need to see examples of real humanity, real kindness in our stories now. And even in 2008, Lin-Manuel Miranda and Chiara Alegria Hudes understood that concept on such a fundamental level, it would be extremely difficult for anyone to misread that intention. Though people have certainly tried. I'm looking at you, Todd in the shadows. But what makes In the Heights truly groundbreaking is its grand, joyous celebration of Latin American culture, music, and dance. There's hip-hop, there's salsa, breakdancing, cha-chas, sambas. The Act 2 production number, Carnaval del Barrio, it has everyone in the cast waving flags in the air of every Latin American, Hispanic, Caribbean country on this earth. And for people of those ethnicities in those communities, seeing In the Heights must have felt truly inspired. And the Muny's production definitely captures that spirit too, in ways that only the Muny can. The production of In the Heights that I saw at Stages St. Louis was a replica production of Broadway. The Muny's production is completely unique. The Muny's production was both directed and choreographed by William Carlos Angulo, who is working his 4th season in a row at the Muny. Previously, he choreographed the Muny's productions of On Your Feet, Legally Blonde, and Little Shop of Horrors. But now he's sitting in the director's chair alongside conceiving the choreography, and man, does he take full advantage of the Muny stage. Angulo's staging and dance utilizes every inch of the unit set that was designed by Arnel Sanciano. Sanciano turns the stage into this expansive, multi-level industrial jungle. There's a central set piece of this big apartment block that rotates on the Muny's turntable, switching between the bodega, the salon, the dispatch, and Abuela's apartment. The fact that all of the locations are concentrated in the middle forces the action to be played in the front apron of the Muny stage, which, much like Waitress does, it actually helps to retain the material's intimacy. And the set is given further dimensions by the unobtrusive video projections that were designed by Kate Hefner. The lighting design by Rob Denton was also spot on. The outdoor scenes perfectly transition from the brightness of the summer sun to the glow of the summer moon. There's fun usage of neon lights. A textbook example of a magical Muny moment is the blackout that ends Act 1, with everybody actually using real flashlights, and also the use of real fireworks that light up the open sky. The fire hydrants that are on the set spout water all over the stage as the characters all have a wild party celebrating the barrio. The costumes by Leon Dabkowski did not try to imitate Broadway at all. They were so realistic. They all wear clothes that feel like were ripped right from the cast's own wardrobes, and yet you could always tell them apart, which all of that credit has to be given to the performances of the cast, who were across the board wonderful. William Carlos Angulo made a smart move and chose to cast Muny newcomers in the younger roles, which was so thrilling and made everything feel so youthful. The energy of discovery was firing up anytime these actors were on stage. Usnavi is a character that could have easily just been played as a Lin-Manuel Miranda impression, but Benji Santiago makes that character completely his own. He's charming, he's warm, he handles all of the fast rap sequences effortlessly. Usnavi's character arc is him realizing that even though he is pining for the Dominican Republic, the barrio is where he truly belongs. That running the bodega really is his life's work. And Benji Santiago pours so much of that heart and nuance into his portrayal. Usnavi's cousin Sonny is played by Miguel Gil, portraying him as this typical rebel teen who is unafraid to embrace his silly side, but also genuinely cares for the barrio and the people in it. Miguel Gil as Sonny is a very nice comic foil against Benji Santiago's Usnavi. Their dynamic as cousins was quite convincing. UJ Mangune as Sonny's best friend Pete was an excellent dancer. He gets to show off some breakdancing during the prologue where he's doing backflips while using spray cans of paint. He does a head spin during the big production number 96,000. And during Blackout, the Act 1 finale, he has to move with miraculous speed, running across the stage with a lit Roman candle in his hand, like he's carrying a damn Olympic torch. Eddie Martin Morales also gave a triumphant comic performance as the Piriguero, making his song Piragua an anthem for just scraping by, doing something you love every minute of doing. Nancy Ticotin as Abuela Claudia exudes so much pride. You can tell that she's proud of being the matriarch of the barrio. She carries herself with a dignity that makes her life experience feel real and her hope for the future sincere. Her renditions of Paciencia y Fe and Hundreds of Stories are spirited and heartfelt. Ariana Burks gives a deeply sympathetic portrayal of Nina Rosario, embodying this gifted kid who feels like they're letting everyone down. Burks' renditions of Breathe and Everything I Know were genuine tearjerkers. Her partnership with Alex Joseph Grayson as Benny was so filled with tenderness and determination at the same point. Their duets of Benny's Dispatch, Sunrise, and Benny's solo, When You're Home, robustly shows the characters' personalities as being very forward-thinking. Martin Sola and Carmine Allers as Kevin and Camilla were passionate scene partners, a totally believable married couple. Their interactions with Ariana Burks as Nina, as well as their big songs, Useless and Enough, they perfectly captured their assertiveness and their uncertainty for the future of their business. Darylyn Castillo and Marlena Fernandez as the salon ladies, Daniela and Carla, were big, vivacious personalities. They were absolutely raucous in the songs No Me Diga and Carnaval de Barrio, portrayals that become bittersweet when they have to leave the barrio behind. Their rapport with Alicia Velez as Vanessa is nice and playful. Velez also plays off of Santiago Zuznavi with a romanticism that becomes awkward, particularly in the songs It Won't Be Long Now and Champagne. It makes the aspirations of both of these characters easily identifiable. Every member of this cast is a superb mover and dancer, fully mastering William Carlos Angulo's truly expansive staging and thrilling choreography. And they're all astonishing singers too, backed up by the always magnificent Muny Orchestra conducted by musical director Roberto Sina, giving this music the bounce, the fun, the exuberance, but also the gravity that it truly deserves. The entire cast and crew of this production made the Muni's in the Heights a dazzling celebration of Latin movement and rhythm in a style and staging that is so completely Muny. In the Heights is an affectionate embrace of an immigrant narrative that is engaging in how distinct it is from any other. In the Heights is a heartfelt proclamation to accept not just yourself, but the people around you, to embrace who they are, where they come from. It's one of the best musicals to come out of the 21st century. It's also one of the most important, and the Muni's production definitely makes the case that In the Heights is going to be one of the most enduring as well. Its relevance is not going to fade away anytime soon, despite what certain other commentators have to say on the matter. Have you seen the Muni's production of In the Heights? If so, what did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. And while you're winding down from that wild block party you just had, you can read my back catalog of written reviews on my website, jackreviewsmusicals.com, which date all the way back to 2022. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more St. Louis musical theater reviews coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, long live the musical!